Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Salatu wassalamu ala rasulihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Let's take a look and review from yesterday, what we went over. Yesterday we started speaking about the adjectival compound, also known as the Mawsuf Sifa compound. And the Mawsuf Sifa compound is identified when two or more isms have the same status number, gender, and type in a sentence. And the sentence in Arabic is known as Jumla Ismiya, which I had mentioned. We haven't gone over that yet. Now, in an adjectival compound, there are what? How many types? Two parts to it. The first is the Mawsuf, which is the thing being described, and the second is the Sifa, which is the description or the attribute. So for example, green car. The attribute is what? Green, and the thing is the car, which is being described. Red jacket, good boy, calm man, tall adult, fast cat, bad player. And then we did some Arabic examples. Al-Qur'anu al-Azimu. Al-Qur'anu al-Azimu. We said that the status, number, and gender and type of both of these words was the same. So we considered it to be what? We considered it to be a Mawsuf Sifa construction. Now, how do we identify Mawsuf Sifa construction? Number one is that we see if the status matches in both ism. Number two is the number. Number three is the gender. Number four is the type. When all four properties match, it is considered a Mawsuf Sifa construction. Mawsuf Sifa is a study of construction and not of complete sentences. And we said that complete sentences are known as Jumla Ismiya. We'll go over that either today or tomorrow. What you're doing is describing something, again, not as a complete sentence. Mawsuf Sifa can happen between any status, any number, any gender, and any type, but all four must match up. If you have only three of them, it is not enough. Now, we started going over some Quranic examples, so I wanted to continue there. So we stopped off at Tanzil al-Azizi ar-Rahim, right? So, Khurram, can you tell me about Tanzil al-Azizi? Status of Tanzil? Nasab. Good. Al-Azizi? Good. Number of Tanzila? Singular. Very good. Right? Nothing comes down to it being on what? The Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin chart. Alright? So it is singular. Tanzilun, Tanzilan, Tanzilin. Tanzilani, Tanzilaini, Tanzilaini. Tanzila, okay, and Al-Azizi. The number is singular. Status number, gender of Tanzila? Masculine, good. And Al-Azizi? Feminine. Good. And type of Tanzila? Good. And Al-Azizi? Proper. So what two things does this thing not match up in? Type, and the second one? Very good. So is this going to be Mawsuf Sifa construction? Nope. Alright, good job. Brother Taha, can you tell me about Al-Azizi Ar-Rahimi? What is the status of Al-Azizi?
The status of Al-Azizi is Jar.
Jar, very good. And Ar-Rahimi? Jar as well. So we're good on that. Number. What is the number of Al-Azizi? Singular, because there's nothing to show that it is dual or plural. How about Ar-Rahimi? It is singular, good. Now, gender of Al-Azizi?
By gender, I was going to say masculine.
Good, you're right. Yep, there's no reason to show. Remember, there's three main signs that'll show it, and this does not have any of those three. So it's going to be a study of masculine. Right, and Ar-Rahimi? Masculine, good. Status, number, gender, and type. Al-Azizi? Proper. Why? Al. Very good. And Al-Rahimi? Proper. Very good. So is this going to be Mawsuf Sifa construction? Very good. It is.
So why was Azizi first time you said when you're comparing the previous word, it was they were different genders, right?
No, Tanzil is masculine and Al-Aziz is masculine. This is different in two ways. This one is nasab because of a, and then this one is jar because of e. So they don't match up in status. And then this one is common, and this one is proper because of al. So that becomes what? That's not a mawsuf sifa construction. So al-azizi ar-rahimi. That's one. لِتُنذِرَ قَوْمًا مَا أُنذِرَ آبَاؤُهُمْ فَهُمْ غَافِلُونَ. Anything here? Nope. لَقَدْ حَقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَى أَكْثَرِهِمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Anything here? Nope. إِنَّا جَعَلْنَا فِي أَعْنَاقِهِمْ أَغْلَالًا فَهِيَ إِلَى الْأَذْقَانِ فَهُمْ مُقْمَحُونَ. Nope. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. Nope. وَسَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Nothing here either. إِنَّمَا تُنذِرُ مَنِ اتَّبَعَ الذِّكْرَى وَخَشِيَ الرَّحْمَنَ بِالْغَيْبِ فَبَشِّرْهُ بِمَغْفِرَةٍ وَأَجْرٍ كَرِيمٍ. Anything here? أَجْرٍ كَرِيمٍ. Can you tell me which one is the status of Ajrin?
Ajrin is singular. The status is jar.
Yep. And Karimin?
It's also jar.
And the number of Ajrin?
It's singular.
Singular. Karimin?
Singular.
Singular. Gender of Ajrin?
Yes. Masculine.
Masculine. Karimin?
Masculine.
Masculine. And then type of Ajrin?
Common.
Common. Karimin is? Common. Very good. إِنَّا نَحْنُ نُحْيِي الْمَوْتَى وَنَكْتُبُ مَا قَدَّمُوا وَآثَارَهُمْ وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ أَحْصَيْنَاهُ فِي إِمَامٍ مُبِينٍ. Noura, can you tell me if there's anything in here?
Imam Mubin.
Very good. Imam is in what in status?
Jar.
Good. Mubinin?
Jar.
Jar. Number of imamin?
Singular.
Singular. Mubinin?
Singular.
So status number. Gender of imamin?
Masculine.
Masculine. Mubinin?
Masculine.
And then type?
Type.
Common or proper?
Yeah,
Okay. Common. And then here?
Common.
Common. Very good. وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلًا أَصْحَابَ الْقَرْيَةِ إِذْ جَاءَهَا الْمُرْسَلُونَ إِذْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهِمُ اثْنَيْنِ فَكَذَّبُوهُمَا فَعَزَّزْنَا بِثَالِثٍ فَقَالُوا إِنَّا إِلَيْكُمْ مُرْسَلُونَ. Nope. قَالُوا مَا أَنْتُمْ إِلَّا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُنَا وَمَا أَنزَلَ الرَّحْمَنُ مِنْ شَيْءٍ أَنْتُمْ إِلَّا تَكْذِبُونَ. Why in God's name do they put this surah in this chapter and then there's like, how many free verses? I mean, I think that's it. I'm gonna put another one. This is ridiculous. This part of the book was I took it from Islamic Learning Foundations when I used to teach for them. So yeah. This one's good. All right. الحمد لله فاطر السماوات والأرض جاعل الملائكة رسلا أولي أجنحة مثنى وثلاث ورباع يزيد في الخلق ما يشاء إن الله على كل شيء قدير. Abdullah, let's try this one. الحمد لله فاطر السماوات. Anything here? Okay, so this is a possibility. So فاطري, what's the status? Jar. السماوات? Good. So it's a possibility, right? Okay, so we'll stick with the status. Number of فاطري? Singular. السماوات? Plural. Okay, good. Status number. Gender of فاطري? Masculine. Good. السماوات? Feminine, good. And type of fatiri?
Common.
Common. And as-samawati? Plural. Plural or proper? What is it? Plural or proper?
What?
What did you said plural?
I said proper.
Oh, you gotta speak clearly.
What you said plural. You said plural.
Yeah, everyone around you said plural. The verdict's been given. Okay, so what does this not match in? Because let's say it matches in status, because they're both job. Actually, technically this is job, so they match in status. So what does it not match in?
Number,
Okay,
gender, and
very good. جاعل الملائكة. Asif, you want to try this one? Let's try جاعلي. Good. الملائكة. Good. Number of جاعلي. Good. الملائكة. Be careful with this one because I taught you this specific one. Yeah. How do you say one angel? Malik, remember? So then this is what? Plural. Okay, status number. Gender of Ja'ili? Good. Why? Very good. There's no reason for it to have masculine or to have feminine. Al-malaikati? Feminine. Why? It's as simple as you can think. Yeah, good. Always say the first thing that comes to your mind. That's always going to help you. Because of the ta. Number, gender, type, ja'ili. Good. Al-malaikati. Proper. So what does it match in? Status. How about number? How about gender? How about type? Nope. None of them. So not a mawsuf sifa. مثلا ثلاثة يزيد في الخلق ما يشاء إن الله على كل شيء قدير. Let's try this one. Zainab. كلي status. Good. شيء. Good. Number of كلي. Singular. Good. شيء. Yep. Gender of كلي. Masculine, good.
masculine.
Okay. Type. Common, good. Shay'in. Common. So everything matches, but guess what? It's still not a mawsuf sifa. Do you know why?
Isn't shay'in feminine?
Shay'in is not feminine, no. The hamza itself doesn't mean that something's feminine. It has to have the alif before it. Yeah.
It has two dots.
Huh? The ya? What ya?
The shape. What do you call it? I forgot the name. And it has to be
No, that's alif maqsura, but it can't have the dots on the bottom. Yeah, no dots on the bottom. Yeah. But you know why this is not going to be mawsuf sifa? Because what is kulli? Adverb of time and place. And adverbs of time and place are what? Mudaf. Mudaf. It's good though. It's good you can recognize that. Pull up the next verse.
How about shay'in qadirin? It's not a construction of. It's not.
Shay is qadirun. Yeah. Oops. Okay. ما يفتح الله للناس من رحمة فلا ممسك لها وما يمسك فلا مرسل له من بعد وهو العزيز الرحيم. Farhan, let's try this one. وهو العزيز الرحيم. العزيز status? Good. الحكيم? Good. Number of العزيز? And al-Hakimu?
Singular.
Good. Gender of al-Azizu?
Masculine.
Very good. Say it with confidence. Do you know why it's masculine?
Because there is no Damar Buta with Maksura.
Exactly. Very good. Al-Hakimu.
Same thing.
Very good. Gender type.
Common, right?
Tell me how it would be common. Tell me the reason.
Oh, never mind. It's proper because of Islam.
Very good. And Al-Hakimu? Very good. So does everything match here?
Yes.
So that would mean what?
That it is Masu Sifra.
Very good. Nice.
Study.
Okay. Shifa. يا أيها الناس اذكروا نعمة الله عليكم. Let's try this one. نعمة الله. نعمة. Status? Very good. Why? Very good. Allahi? Jar. Good. Why? Good. Number of ni'mata? Singular. Good. Allahi? Okay. Gender of ni'mata? I'll give you this one. So this one, this is what? Yeah, it is feminine. Yeah. Because remember, ni'mata. Okay, well, I'll go over in a second. So feminine, Allahi. Good. Status, number, gender, type, ni'mata. Allahi. Very good. So is this going to be a mudaf ilayh, or is it going? I'm sorry. Is it going to be mawsuf sifa construction? Huh? No, it is not. No, not underline. Cross it out. Ni'mata. What was it? Now, if this is not a mawsuf sifa construction, what is it? Mudaf ilayh. What's the mudaf here? Ni'mata. What was ni'mata before it became a mudaf? What did it have on it? What's missing that it had on it beforehand? That it had to get rid of to become mudaf? Tanween. Very good. So it was actually ni'matan, right? So it's a tan with the ta marbuta at the end is usually considered that. So yeah, I thought they're supposed to write it like this. I guess there's different ways of writing it. Okay. All right. Do another verse. Okay. Bam, bam, bam. All right. Who did the last one? Shifa did the last one. So, anyone want to try this one? And raise your hand from the brothers. Abdullah, you want to try this one? All right. يا أيها الناس إن وعد الله حق فلا تغرنكم الحياة الدنيا ولا يغرنكم بالله الغرور. Anything in this line?
No.
Try again.
Oh.
Does anyone see anything from the brothers? From the brothers, Abdullah, what do you see?
No.
Okay, anyone from the brothers? Yes, brother Taha.
I think it's the
Which specific words?
those two.
Which ones?
So ta is the part of what I was.
Yeah, ta is part of the word. So okay, so I'll make this easier for you. This is a verb. Now what?
Very end actually.
There you go. Al-hayatu ad-dunya. Al-hayatu ad-dunya. Al-hayatu. Let's try this. So this is actually supposed to be this. So there are some words in the Arabic language which are considered non-flexible, right? Musa, Isa, One of them was Zakaria. Zakaria is technically written with that alif, with the alif maqsura, but for whatever reason it's spelled like that. But it's considered feminine. And the word dunya is also considered feminine. It's considered feminine. So al-hayatu, Abdullah, I'll come back to you. Al-hayatu is what in status?
No,
Rafa, why?
no.
Good. How about ad-dunya?
It's Muslim.
Sure.
Yeah, because of the
So if it's a fatha, okay. We'll come back to that. Number of al-hayatu?
singular,
Singular. Ad-dunya?
singular,
Gender of al-hayatu?
feminine,
Feminine. Ad-dunya?
feminine,
Good. Type?
proper,
Proper. And then here?
proper.
Proper. Now we said what was the status for this? You said nasab, right? What type of word is this? Fully, non, or partly flexible? Why would it be fully?
Because there's a commercial that's
I'm gonna make this easier for you.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. No.
Non-flexible, right? So you can't tell what the status is right away, right? So in this case, for example, al-hayatu ad-dunya, it is considered mawsuf sifa. Why?
Because everything's default.
No, not exactly. But because just the partly flexible word is coming after a word like this, and everything else is matching but the status. But what do we know about a partly flexible word? We said we just don't know the status right away. So in this case, right, I'm going to write this into your notes. Oh, I'm already in the notes. When a partly flexible ism comes as a sifa, sorry, non, you're right. Where would I be without you? Right? When a non-flexible ism comes as a sifa, assume it to follow in the status of the mawsuf. Okay? So assume it to follow the status of the what? The mawsuf. Keep going. I'm going to delete all of this.
So this rule applies all the time?
Yes, for non-flexible isms, yes. I got it. Okay.
You're not checking this, the status field.
I'm sorry?
You're not checking the status field there.
Yeah, because we know that there is no status technically. Right? For example, Musa Karimun. Right? Musa Karimun. Musa is, actually no. Take that back. I'm gonna look into that a little bit more. I have a group which I correspond with for our Arabic stuff, so I'm gonna ask them. Okay. So we said al-hayat ad-dunya, right? Abdullah did that one. Inna ash-shaytana lakum aduwwun fattakhidhuhu aduwwa innama yad'u hizbahu liyakunu min ashabi as-sa'ir. Sister Sanober, let's try ashabi as-sa'ir.
Rafa?
Which one?
No.
Nope. What's the sound for Rafa? U or un?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Jar.
Jar. And the as-sa'iri?
Jar.
Jar, good. Number of ashabi. So I'll give you ashabi because you wouldn't know it. Ashabi is a broken plural. As-sa'iri?
Broken plural.
Sa'ir is singular. Yeah. So we have jar, jar. We have plural, singular. Gender of ashabi, we said since it's a broken plural, what's the gender going to be?
Masculine.
Nope. Broken plurals are?
Feminine.
Feminine, good. Right? And as-sa'iri?
And
Is there a reason for it to be feminine?
so I have to lie about all this stuff.
Uh-oh.
Maybe behind.
Okay. As-sa'iri would be masculine. Okay. And then type ashabi. Is there alif lam on this or no?
No.
Nope. Okay, so this is going to be common. And then as-sa'iri is?
Proper.
Yep, proper because of alif lam. So the matches in status does not match in number, does not match in gender, nor does it match in type. So it will not be a mawsuf sifa construction. Alright, where'd it go? This one. Alright. الذين كفروا لهم عذاب شديد والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير. Uzair, before you leave.
Okay. So what else did you call me?
Alright. الذين كفروا لهم عذاب شديد. Anything? Okay, عذاب, what's the status?
Rafa.
شديد.
Rafa.
Number,
Singular. Singular.
type,
Common. Common.
gender.
Masculine. Masculine.
Alright, good job. So what's this going to be then?
I take every class at school. So
What's this? Mawsuf sifa.
I dismissed. Correct.
I didn't say anything.
I took the sifa, so.
Okay, and who have I not picked on yet? But you went. You can take this one. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَهُمْ مَغْفِرَةٌ وَأَجْرٌ عَظِيمٌ. Anything here? أجر. Nope. You know why? وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, and they do good deeds. لَهُمْ, for them, مَغْفِرَةٌ is forgiveness. وَأَجْرٌ كَبِيرٌ. This is one. Mawsuf sifa is one entity. Wa does what? Wa is simply saying what? And, right? So this is one entity, and then this is one entity. So for the one who believes and does good deeds gets two things. He gets this, and he gets or she gets this. It's two different things. So this is Faza. Ajrun, status? Rafa. Okay. Kabirun? Good. Number?
Thank you.
Gender?
Next to you. Next to you.
Type?
Common.
Very. So is this going to be a mawsuf sifa? All four match up?
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. Good job. Okay. Any questions?
Wait, so you're saying wow cannot come in the middle for it to be super?
Wow actually can. But for this reason here, status of maghfiratun is what? Okay, ajrun kabirun, status. Number?
Singular.
Good. Ajrun kabirun, number?
Singular.
Good. Gender?
Feminine. Masculine.
Exactly, that's the point also. So if this was وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَهُمْ I don't know, لَهُمْ خَيْرٌ وَأَجْرٌ كَبِيرٌ. Yes, then it would be mawsuf sifa. For them would be what? A good big reward. But here Allah is saying two different things by using two different words.
Okay.
Yep. There was one more thing I wanted to add about Mawsuf Sifa. One more rule. Important to write this down. Though they match in status, number, gender, type, the names of Allah will never be a Mawsuf Sifa construction. The names of Allah will never be a Mawsuf Sifa construction. For example, Allahu you guys can see this? Ghafurun Rahimun. Okay, let me bring this down. Allahu Ghafurur Rahim is an example of that. And there's one more thing I want to pull up. Oops. Hold on. Fall, yep. No. Okay. Sorry, this. So Allahu Ghafurun Rahimun, right? Which means Allah is Ghafur Rahim. So usually what? Ghafurun and Rahimun match in all four properties. But just because they're describing Allah, we use these and treat them as separate entities. That's what it's done with. So Allah is Ghafur and Allah is Rahim. Instead of saying Allah is described with these two, it's basically considered that Allah is Ghafur, comma Rahim. Because it doesn't make sense. They're two different names. They're two different attributes. So that's just that. Because you'll see this commonly, right? Allah Ghafur Rahim. Inna Allaha Sami'un Basir. Inna Allaha, I don't know, Sami'un Alim, or, Shadidul, whatever. All of those ones that comes down to, they're all considered, they're not considered Mawsuf Sifa. It's just, even though it looks like it. So this is the exception to the rule. Alrighty. Mawsuf Sifa. And there's one more thing I wanted to go over. And that is Mawsuf Sifa Yeah, mawsuf sifa with when an attached pronoun is involved. Okay, so I'm going to give you the example of this. Jamaluhu jamilun. There's one more I want to find. Nope. Right? Jamluhu jamilun means what? His beautiful camel. Where is the attached pronoun? Who? Jamaluhu jamilun. His beautiful camel. Right? Waliduha al-qawi. How would I translate this? Okay, so qawi means strong, walid means father. So her strong father. Her strong father. This is the attached pronoun, right? So what would this be as beautiful camel? If I had just said this as beautiful camel. Okay, jamalun, jamilun. How about this one? Nope, walidun. Walidun, or al-walidu al-kabiru, or al-qawi. Al-walidu al-kabiru. Al-walidu al-kabiru. All I did was add this attached pronoun, right? And if I said jamalun jamilun, what does it mean? Beautiful camel, as opposed to his beautiful camel. Her strong father, as opposed to the strong father. I mean, whether I put an alif lam on it or I don't, doesn't make a difference, right? It's just another way of saying it. Al-walidu al-kabiru. Now, there was one more thing I'm looking for. Actually, I'm going to do a review of that section. Where did Mr. Rajulun Kabirun Latifun, whatever his name was, go? Where'd it go? I went over it, right?
Yeah, it's
Ah, here it is. Insert page number, because I have no idea what page number is what. Alright, so 1, 2, this is 3. Got it. I'm going to take all this, right, and add another rule. You can have more than one sifa on a single mawsuf. but not the other way around. And we went over this yesterday by this example. Right, we're speaking about a man, a merciful, healthy, generous man. Ar-rajulu rahimun salimun karimun. Right, and the rest of these were purple because of the man is merciful, healthy, and generous. Ar-rajulu, right, because now it doesn't match up. We're going to learn about this. We will learn how to add is in the section on nominal sentence. And then we did this one, right? We did ar-rajulu, ar-rahimu, as-salimu, al-karimu. Al-karimu. Right? And we translate this as what? The merciful, healthy, the merciful, healthy, generous man. Okay, now these are some examples which I went over. Now I'm going to give you something which is not as boring as long as I've been talking. A little bit more fun. Do you guys get this so far? You see how the words are interacting with each other? If you don't see it as a bigger picture in the sentence, that's fine, but at least if you can see it as how the words are interacting with each other, they'll be fine. Now, well, we went over that, how to identify mawsuf sifa construction. Okay. I think we're good for this section then. Yes.
Could you clarify the point about type pronouns?
Sure. What would you like me to clarify about it?
Is that an exception?
No. So this will come in the Quran, right? For example, I want to show. Oh, this one. I want to show ownership, right, to a specific word, right? So I want to say, instead of saying beautiful camel, I want to say his beautiful camel, or my beautiful camel, or your beautiful camel, right? Your awesome car, right? So all I do is what? And I'll make this more clear. When this showing ownership of a mawsuf sifa construction means adding an attached pronoun onto the what? Mawsuf or the sifa? Onto the mawsuf, right? And actually the same idea is plugged into the mudaf ilayh, for example, right? Well, technically it's not. Kitabullahi, right? The book of Allah, right? Yeah, the book of Allah, the ownership is being shown. So ownership is done, actually, so forget that. But on mawsuf sifa, all you're doing is attaching it to the attached pronoun to show ownership, right? In a sentence, if you have just a ism, how do I show ownership? Let's say I want to say my book, right? How would I say that? Kitabi, my book. But if I want to say my fast car, how do I say fast car? Siyaratun sari'atun, right? But if I want to say my fast car, siyarati sari, what? Siyarati sari'a. Good. Sari'a. Now there, before I get to this, right? Before I get to this, I have to already make sure it's a mawsuf sifa construction, right? So before I make sure it's a mawsuf sifa construction, I make sure the status, number, gender, and type is correct. So I've done that already. Now I can work with this. So if I say siyarati, right, sari'atun, I don't see the rafa there anymore, right? Siyaratun sari'atun, but I know that I added the ya, I took the rafa off. I know already that it's going to be a mawsuf sifa, so I know that it's going to be rafa. So I can say that's my fast car. Does that help? Okay. So that's that. All right. Wow, we have gotten through most of this book. Possessive compound, adjectival compound. All right. I'll give you guys a break, but please be back here by 8 o'clock exactly. No more than that because we all have to catch up. Hmm? Were they expected to win? No?
Ghana was favored in this game.
Huh?
Ghana was favored in this game.
But he destroyed them right now, right?
It's 2-1. Huh? Well, I don't know.
Oh, at least Germany won 14.
You're just like open.
No, you didn't.
No, go. Thanks.
Don't yell at us today.
I didn't yell yesterday. You haven't heard me yell.
I have to go with the content to continue times. He doesn't always say.
Can I get a service test?
Sorry?
Can I get
Oh, sure. No problem. There you go. Feeling better? Okay.
I don't really say that.
Huh?
I didn't so good, I know.
Oh no, you did average. Everyone did the same, just about the same thing. Average grade was like what did I say? Yeah, I went over the average grade yesterday, and it came out to a. Hold on. All right, page number 80. Okay. Da, da, da. Oops, wrong one. Where is the nominal sentence page? I have it in the notes, but I like pulling it up from beforehand because there's sometimes a little bit more stuff in there. Ah, I think this is it. Yes. This is part of it. Keep that open. Okay, this is part of it too. And this is part of it. Nice. Alrighty. Words versus sentences versus compounds. Words, isms, come together and form sentences, and that is understood, right? Words come together and form sentences. Sentences are organized, have a subject and a predicate, and carry a complete meaning. That makes sense too. A sentence is supposed to carry a very directive and specific meaning. Words come together and form compounds as well. Okay? Words can also form compounds. So words have two functions. They can form sentences or they can form compounds. Compounds are literally words put together that do not carry a complete meaning, but can come together to form a sentence eventually. Sort of like when your wife goes out and you end up cooking dinner, right? It can come together to form a sentence eventually, meaning that it's not something complete. So we went over some sentences. I'm just going to show you some types of sentences. You don't have to write this down. But what we're going to be studying in this class is Jumla Ismiya. Jumla Ismiya literally means a nominal sentence. What is a nominal sentence? We'll go over it in a second. Jumla Fi'liya is a verbal sentence. I mentioned in this class that what are we not going to be covering at all? Anything to do with verbs, fi'l, right? So we're not going to touch that. Then there's Jumla Shartiyya, a conditional sentence. I have not incorporated that into the course, but maybe I will. I'm not sure. I mean, not yet. I'm not. You're not going to learn this, but a Jumla Shartiyya literally means, in Arabic, if you do this, then you get that. It's, for example, Man amila salihan min dhakarin aw untha, whosoever does a good deed from being, and he's either a man or a woman, فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبَةً, then he will have a good life. He will live a good life. But there's a certain way of saying it, right? There's a difference between saying the table is brown as opposed to, now expounding the sentence and learning different forms of speech. So Jumla Shartiyya is another form of sentence. And then there is Jumla Istifhamiyya. It is a sentence posing a question. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, hal adullukum ala tijara? Hal adullukum ala tijara? Should I point you towards a type of business? It's a question. Compounds. Compounds. Incomplete in meaning and application. Incomplete in meaning and application. We said that, right? Now, what are some compounds that you need to know? The first one we went over in this class was what? The possessive compound, the idafa. The second one we went over is the harf jar compound. The third one we went over is the adjectival compound, mawsuf sifa. And the fourth one, which we will go over, which is today, after I go over the Jumla Ismiya is going to be the pointing word compound. And we'll go over that later. So that is that. Now let's read about Jumla Ismiya. Chapter 7, simple nominal sentence. These last few weeks, well, technically the last few days, we focused on isms and their principles. Now it's time to understand what isms are. They're technically just words, and that they are not what yet? They are not sentences. Good. To any native Arabic speaker or student of grammar, I would look pretty silly if I spoke or wrote in only isms. So now we will have to start and make sense of these isms by forming sentences with them. And then I also mentioned this, right? There are actually many types of sentences in the Arabic language, but for the sake of this class, we will only be discussing one type, the nominal sentence. In part 2 of this course, we will go over the verbal sentence. Number 1, what is a nominal sentence? What is a nominal sentence? Make sure you have a definition highlighted, you have it written, make sure you understand this. A nominal sentence is any sentence that begins with an ism. Any sentence that begins with an ism. A nominal sentence is any sentence that begins with an ism. Highlight it, write it, whatever. But know it. So if you see an ism at the beginning of a sentence, you can easily assume it to be in this category. Meaning, if you're reading something in the Quran and it starts with Allahu, Allahu, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. If it's, now Allah, is it an ism? It is. Can I say that this could be a Jumla Ismiya? I could, right? Yeah, the Arabic term for a nominal sentence is Jumla Ismiya. You won't need to remember this term, but I'm writing it here since I'll be interchangeably using it. So Jumla Ismiya is what it's called. Jumla means sentence, Ismiya means ism type. Right? So for example, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. Allahu la ilaha illa hu al-hayyu al-qayyum. It's starting with what? Allah. Allah is a ism. رِجَالٌ لَا تُلْهِيهِمْ تِجَارَةٌ وَلَا بَيْعٌ. Rijal means men. Men are. Rijalun is what? Ism. What's another way I can tell this is an ism? Tanween. Without knowing the meaning, if I see tanween on a word, I know it is what? An ism. Kitabun uhkimat ayatuhu. Kitabun. A book uhkimat. How would I translate uhkimat? Ahkama yuhkimu ihkam. Ahkama means to legislate. Okay. Kitabun uhkimat ayatuhu. Its ayat have been legislated. Okay. Muhammadun Rasulullah. Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Number 2. This is where we will need to pay very, very close attention. This section will go over the fundamental concepts of what makes up a nominal sentence. Okay? Number 1. I would recommend writing this on a separate sheet of paper because I'm going to give you a lot more information. Okay. Okay. Where'd it go? Okay. Oh wait, no, I'm already using this one. Nominal sentences. So what's the first thing we said about nominal sentences? A nominal sentence is a sentence that starts or that begins with an ism. Begins with an ism. It's the first thing we said. There are three parts to a nominal sentence. The first part is called the subject. The second part is the predicate. The third part is the addition to the predicate, also referred to as the AP, which I will do much in this class, the AP. Make sure you're writing this, please. In Arabic, this idea of the subject is called the mub. You don't have to write this part, but I write this for myself just so you know. It's called the mubtada. The predicate is called the khabar. And the addition to the predicate is called the muta'alliq. Muta'alliqun bil. Really, you don't have to write this. Muta'alliq bil khabar. That's what I will use it as. Mubtada, khabar, muta'alliq bil khabar. Now we will speak about each of these very, very in depth. In Arabic, for example, I'm going to give you an example. I'll give you an example. Okay, I won't give you an example yet. What type of isms are considered the subject? What type of isms are the subject in a jumla, in a nominal sentence, in an NS? The first one is any type of proper ism. Proper ism is considered what? Subject. In a? Good. Farhan, can you give me an example of a proper ism? Any example. Any proper. Allah, good. Asif, you got one for me? Proper ism. Anything. How does an ism become proper? Okay, give me a word with an al. Anything. Anything. Okay, al-kitab. Al-kitabu. Okay, Shifa, can you give me an example of an ism? A proper ism? Okay. Give me one from those 7. So we already used alif lam. And we also used hum. Okay. Hum is what? Very good. Pronoun. Very good. What else? Alladhi, which is a pointing word. Uzair, you got me a proper ism? Makkah, good. Makkah is a what? A place. Makkah. So you guys get that. Proper ism. Actually, second part, Shifa said it, is a pronoun. Pronoun. For example, huwa, huma, hum. Ana, nahnu, and the list goes on. Number 3, pointing words. Pointing words are هذا, ذلك, ذلك, تلك. These are considered what in a sentence? The subject. They are considered the subject. So be very, very focused on that. Now, what is the subject exactly? I'm going to add something. What is the subject? Well, so the subject seeks to answer questions. Okay, where to go? The subject seeks to answer questions. Actually, okay, that's going to get too philosophical. Erase that. The subject is the main focus of the sentence. Okay? Main focus of the sentence. That is what the subject is. The main focus of the sentence. So for example, in English, okay? In English, I'm going to write out 5 sentences. Okay? The cat is fat. What's the subject? What are we talking about? Right? Cat is the subject. How about the boy is smart? What are we talking about? So we're not talking about smart? Are you sure? How do you know? It makes sense. It's like the boy is smart. If I just said is smart, I said what's supposed to happen is when you find out the subject, it's curing a question in your head, right? So if I said is smart, what question does that bring up? Who's smart? What's smart? Is beautiful, right? The tree is beautiful. New Jersey is the best state ever, right? Which one is the subject? No, you just failed my class. Yeah. What's the subject here? What are we talking about? New Jersey, right? New Jersey is what we're talking about. And now look, what is going to be, for example, now let me ask, fat is what? A description. Smart is a description. Beautiful is a description. What's the description here? Best state, right? Best state ever. So the same way, you need to first see what's the subject. In Arabic, if you find these 3 categories, automatically we're going to consider them to be what? Subject. Very good. It's going to be considered the subject. Make sure you etch that. New Jersey is the best state ever.
Is it extra credits for that?
Yeah, why not? Yeah. See, when you're born and raised in a place like that, where New York City is 20 minutes away from you and everything is a 15 to 10 minute drive away, you move to a place like this, it's nice, but you're just not used to it. I've been here for 2 weeks. What's up?
We used to live in New Jersey for a long time. I still don't like it.
No, that's a difference. See, it's like being born in a gaon, right? Right? When you're in a gaon, like in a village, you love it, even though it's like there's no electricity, there's no plumbing, the roof is falling down. Doesn't matter. It's where you're from, right? Same way for me. I'm born and raised there. So, yeah, I don't care if it's the armpit of America and it smells. Okay, khabar. Khabar. So, what type of isms are the predicate in a nominal sentence? Now what are we going over? Predicate. Type of isms. Where did this go? Anything that is not a proper ism pronoun, pointing word will be fourth category, and is not a AP, which is addition to the predicate, متعلق بالخبر, will be considered what? The predicate. Predicate. What is the predicate? What is it exactly? It is the information about the subject. Information about the subject. That's what it is.
Can you go back up?
It's information about the subject. Yes, sir.
Like, will the predicate be any one type of status?
We're going to go over that right now. Well, I'm going to go through all three, and then we're going to talk about status, number, gender, and type after that. It's information about the predicate. That's what it is. Okay? Now, number 3 is addition to the predicate AP. What type of... Now, I'm going to write words here. Okay? Not isms. Actually, no. Yeah. I'm not going to write. What type of words are considered... Not all. What type of words are additions to the predicate? There's only two types. The first one is harf jar. And the word, well, let's make it easy. Harf jar constructions. The whole construction, right? Kitabun Aziz. The construction is Kitabun Aziz. The whole thing. Kitabullahi. The whole construction is idafa, possessive compound. So harf jar constructions, and number 2 are adverbs of time and place. Is that what we're going to be using? Adverbs of time and place. Adverbs of time and place. Those are the two things. Now, what is the addition to the predicate? What is it exactly? It is secondary information about the subject. That's what it is. It's secondary information about the subject. That's what it's doing, giving secondary info about the subject. So now, okay.
What?
But nobody else thinks that.
Okay, subject, the cat is fat and lives in my backyard. So what's the subject here, we said? Cat. What's the predicate in English? Is fat. Okay, is fat. The boy is smart. Smart. Why not? Well, let's go back to the cat is fat. Why not lives in my backyard? Like, what do I really care? Like, if I ask you about your fat, about your cat, if it's fat, if I ask you about your cat and it's fat, right? I said, do you have a heavy cat or a skinny cat? You say my cat is fat, and you tell me, and it lives in my backyard. You'll just say, okay, that's cool. I could care less if it lives in your backyard, but that's more information you're telling me. So what's going to be the addition to the predicate? Lives in my backyard. Now, I don't want you to get this confused when I go over this in Arabic with you. In Arabic, it's going to be different. Yes, sir.
What if it's the cat lives in my backyard and it's fat? What lives in my backyard be the predicate?
The boy is smart but dresses weird. What's popping out? Actually, to your question, in English it would be, in Arabic it wouldn't be. Yeah. So Abdullah asked, if I said the cat lives in my backyard and is fat, would the subject and would the predicate and AP change? In English it would, in Arabic it would not. And we'll go over why. Because specific words in Arabic, I said, are what? Are AP, right? And in Arabic, if it's that word and it's in that sentence, it won't change the context. It will be what it is. Actually, in Arabic, maybe I'll go over it later, but order and the way, if it's a jumla ismiya and it starts off with an ism or it starts off with a verb, where the words are actually doesn't really matter. And it does, but it really doesn't. The boy is smart but dresses weird. What's the subject?
Boy.
And the predicate?
Smart.
Anything else that I need to know about?
Maybe it's just
So this could be the AP or it could be the second predicate, but we'll do AP. The tree is beautiful but has no leaves. The tree is but has no leaves. AP. Okay, New Jersey is the best state ever. So we said New Jersey is what? The subject. What's the predicate here? Best state, right? Best state ever. It doesn't matter.
wouldn't just be best.
No, because you're specific. Well, no, it wouldn't be, because if I wrote New Jersey is the best and you had to pick, then yes, best would be. But if there's more information, why am I going to leave it out? Right? Like the best what? Oh, well, the answer is right there. Best state. Best state what? Best state ever. But no one else thinks like that. Now that's more tertiary information. So what happens? AP. Now that's that. Now I want to say something here. I'm going to add something. There can be more than one predicate in a nominal sentence. At the same time, there can be more than one AP in a nominal sentence. And sometimes there can be more than one. Actually, I'm going to rewrite this. In Arabic, there can only be one subject. No, you know what? Keep this blank. I'm going to write a question here. Can there be more than one subject in a sentence in Arabic? Okay, can there be more than one subject? I'm going to get back to that. Okay, and I'm going to add, wait, what, 5 minutes till Salah? 6 minutes? It's 8:51. It comes in. Okay, so in 6 minutes, I'm going to give you something else. How to actually shortcuts to identifying a nominal sentence. Shortcuts to identifying a nominal sentence. Okay, I don't need that. Neither do I need this. And do I need this? Yeah. Actually, no. These are not the shortcuts. These are general ways of identifying a nominal sentence. So the first thing you want to do is find the fix that desk. Right. Find the subject and predicate. Find the subject and predicate. Sorry, make a note somewhere on your notes and add this point too. You don't always need a predicate or AP when there is a subject. You don't need, you don't need both the subject or the predicate and AP when there is a subject. Okay? Just one is fine. You don't always need both the predicate and AP when there's a subject. Just one is fine. Just one is fine to be a nominal sentence. When I see people still using blackboards and like marker boards, I get confused. I'm like, this is so much easier, right? Okay, so we said find the subject and the predicate. It's the first thing you want to do. So if I give you Allahu nuru samawati wal ard, the first thing I want to do is what? Find the subject. And by how do I find the subject again? I have to do what? Look for a proper ism, a pronoun, or a pointing word. Proper ism, proper noun, or pointing word. That's that. Find the subject and predicate. Number 2. Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting something. Hold off there. I forgot to tell you guys the status, number, gender, type of each. Okay. SNGT of the subject. Okay. Status, number, gender, type. And I closed it, didn't I? Yeah. Blah. Okay, here it is. Status of the subject will always be rafa. Okay? Will be rafa. And I want you to write type here. Type will always be proper. Status rafa, type proper. Number and gender. They're both gonna what? Yeah, they're gonna depend on the ism. For example, al-rajulani. Status? Rafa. Al-rajulani. Number? Dual. Depends on the ism. Gender? Masculine. Good. Type? Proper. Al, right? Al-rajulani. If it's not rafa, it's not your subject. Write that in. Okay? If it's not rafa, then it cannot be the subject. If it's not rafa, it cannot be the subject. And the same time, here, if it's not proper, then it cannot be the subject. Again, these are grammar rules, guys. You're going to need to study. You need to study. I'll tell you about my first time at Bayina. I think, and that was a full-time program. It's a different story. So we had about 5 to 6 hours of class per day, 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. That was class. And then I remember the first few weeks, we were studying almost 5 to 6 to 7 hours a day. I remember the first week, or the first 3 weeks, we studied from maybe 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then we would be up by Fajr, and then our day would start right away. Because the Brother Nawan's curriculum was all about getting the hard stuff out of the way first. But again, that was hardcore studying. But here you have to study. That's the main thing. You gotta study. Yes.
Is our exam gonna be tomorrow or Wednesday?
Exam is tomorrow, and I'll go over what we have. Don't worry. We're gonna do a review after this. And like I said, the exams get easier and easier. They don't get harder and harder. Okay, let's go for Salah. unmute. Status, number, gender, type. Predicate of status, number, gender, and type. Right? Status, number, gender, and type. So the status of a predicate, number of a predicate, gender of a predicate, type of a predicate. So the status of a predicate is the same thing as the subject, which is Rafa. Same thing, Rafa. And then it'll be different in this regard from the predicate. From the subject. Subject is what? Common or proper? Subject is proper. Predicate will be common. And now the number and gender, be very specific here, must be the same as the subject. Must be the same as the subject. So basically, whatever's status, whatever number and gender the subject is the number and gender the predicate will be. Okay? The number and gender that the predicate will be. Status of a subject and predicate of a subject are the same. Status of a subject and predicate of a subject are the same. Okay? The number and gender of a subject can be whatever it wants depending on the word, but the number and gender of a predicate must match the what? Subject. The subject will be proper, but the predicate must be common. That's the only difference. So really the only difference between subject and predicate is if one is common or proper. Right? That's that. Okay. So let's start going over general ways of identifying a nominal sentence. Number one, he says find the subject and the predicate, meaning start looking at all those signs I gave you. If you have a pronoun, do you have a pointing word? Do you have a proper ism? Do you have a adverb? Do you have a harf jar? Start looking at those things. Find the subject and the predicate. Number two, make sure the subject is proper. Okay? Number three, make sure the predicate is what? Common. Make sure the predicate is common. Number four. What do you think number four is going to be?
Make sure the subject and predicate.
Well, it's in your book. It's not like a game. Make sure the gender and number of the subject and predicate are the same. Number five. The word is comes to life when you have successfully identified the subject and predicate. Today is a mouthful. That's why the remainder of this course We'll really just focus on this. Go to your book, page number 83. I want you to cover the translation. Abdullah,
Yes.
status of Muhammadun?
Rafa.
Rafa. Okay. Number of Muhammadun?
Singular.
Singular. Gender of Muhammadun?
Masculine.
Masculine. And what do you call it? Type of Muhammadun? Be very careful.
Proper.
Very good. Why proper?
Because it's an Arabic name.
Because it is a Arabic name. Arab names are what? Fully flexible, but at the same time, it's a name per se, and names are names. They are specific. So the two things that I need here to make sure that this can be a subject or what? So the status has to be what?
Rafa.
Rafa. And how about this? And the type?
Proper.
Proper. So status has to be?
Rafa.
And number two, the type has to be?
Proper.
Proper. Type has to be what?
Proper.
Proper. And the status has to be?
Rafa.
Rafa. For it to be a
Subject.
subject. Okay? Now we need to tell if the word next to it is what? Is going to be its predicate. Mujtahidun. Abdullah, status of mujtahidun.
Rafa.
Good. Now we're seeing what are we trying to find? The predicate. Good. And we said the rule for number and gender of a predicate is that it has to do what?
Same as the subject.
So the number and gender of mujtahidun has to match this, right? So the number of mujtahid, what is it?
Singular.
Singular. Gender of mujtahid?
Masculine.
Masculine. Gender here?
Masculine.
Masculine. Type of mujtahidun?
Common.
Good. And this is?
Proper.
Proper. And we said the predicate has to be what? Common or proper?
Common.
Common. Common followed by?
Proper.
Proper. Yes.
Why is it proper?
Because Muhammad is a specific name. It's a proper noun. Right? If I said Nihalu mujtahidun, Nihal is hardworking. Nihal is a name. Names are proper. But we said that this has tanween. Why? Because it's an Arab name. So actually you said that it's proper because it's an Arab name. No, rather has tanween because it's an Arab name. Okay. Ar-rajulani qa'imani. Who is the next victim? Shifa? Can you tell me the status of rajulani?
No,
Rafa, why?
because it's subject.
No. We're not playing that game.
Okay.
Ar-rajulani. Why is ar-rajulani? What if it was ar-rajulaini?
Because
What if it was ar-rajulun or ar-rajulu?
it's Rafa because it's animal.
Ani, very good. Okay? So the status of ar-rajulani is? Good. Because of?
And
Ani, good. The number of ar-rajulani?
dual.
Dual, very good. The gender of ar-rajulani?
Masculine.
Masculine. And the type of ar-rajulani?
Proper.
Proper. So all of these things have been fulfilled. Number one is that it's rafa, and number two is that it is proper. So can we say that this is the subject? Good. Qa'imani, status?
Rafa.
Rafa, why?
And
Ani. Number?
dual.
Dual. Now, is the subject dual as well?
Yes.
So it doesn't match up? Okay. Status number. Gender of qa'imani?
Masculine.
Masculine. Is the subject masculine?
Yeah.
So does it match up? Good. And type?
Common.
Common. Then this is? And subject is?
Proper.
Common or proper?
Oh, proper.
Proper. So they don't match up, so it can't be subject predicate, right?
False.
What is it?
They're not supposed to match up.
They're not supposed to match up. Good. So this has to be common for it to be the predicate of the subject. Let's go down. Blah, blah, blah. Where is it? Okay. That's the idea. Good. So I'm going to add some more examples here. Okay, this is nice. So we're going to identify. Okay. Actually, one more question comes to my mind. I'm going to write it here real quick. You haven't seen my pen? Here it is. Okay. Brother Khurram, let's go ahead and begin to see if this is a nominal sentence. So wow is simply called ataf. It's just an addition. We don't even care about its grammatical status. It's irrelevant. Whether it's a verb or a noun or istifham, whatever is after, we don't honestly care. We're going to look at the next word. Huwa. What is huwa?
Pronoun.
It is a pronoun. And we said, what about pronouns? They will do what when in a nominal sentence?
Pronouns.
We can identify what by the pronoun? Nominal. You can look at your notes. First thing. The three categories.
Straightforward. Subject.
Good. So we identified what?
The subject.
The subject. So the pronoun is he, right? So that's a subject. How about al-qahiru?
It's what about
What is it?
the status?
Yeah, let's go through. So let's go to the status of huwa first. What's the status of huwa?
Nothing.
No. All pronouns are what? All independent pronouns are rafa. All independent pronouns are rafa. Very good. You're going to need that for tomorrow. All independent pronouns are rafa. Okay? Now, huwa's number? How many people is it referring to?
One.
Good. Singular, right? Gender of huwa?
Masculine.
Good. Type?
Common.
No.
That's fine.
Proper, right?
Yeah.
It refers back to something proper.
Proper.
So status is rafa, and it is proper, right? And we said that that's enough to be a
Subject.
subject. Very good. How about al-qahiru?
Status is Rafa.
Good. Number?
Number is singular.
Okay.
Gender is masculine.
Mm-hmm.
And type is proper.
Proper. So does it actually match up to huwa?
Not from a subject predicate.
It doesn't, but does it match up in its four sifat? Its four types? Status, number, gender, and type. So this is very interesting. What was the question we wanted to ask initially? Is if there can be more than one subject, meaning if more than one word has its things come together, right? It's considered one subject here. Huwa al-qahiru. He is the irresistible. Okay? This is the subject. Now, can you tell me what is fawqa? No. Is your name Khurram? No, it's not.
So,
Unless you're Hyderabadi and you have 4 different names and your parents call you something else. That's a different story, right? But no, not the status. Like, what is this? Fawqa. Does it fall under a specific category of words? Adverbs, time and place. Adverb of time and place. So adverb of time and place is what? In the sentence? Is it a subject, is it predicate, or AP? You can look at your notes, I don't know. No, not predicate. AP. That's fine. And we said what? Anything connected to it is going to also be the AP.
There is no predicate in the sentence?
Nope, no predicate in the sentence. And what did we say initially? That you don't need a predicate and you also don't need the AP. Both, one is enough. One is enough.
so what does it mean actually?
And he is the irresistible above his slaves. He is the irresistible above his slaves. Now let's look at this one. وهو الحكيم الخبير. Nura? Huwa?
It's a pronoun.
Okay. Pronouns usually mean what? Subject.
Subject.
Subject, very good. So we have our subject. Now, how about al-hakimu?
It's also the subject.
Very good. About al-khabiru. If it looks like an orange, if it smells like an orange,
It is an orange.
It's the lemon.
there you go. And that is why there is not a book in front of you, because you think it's a lemon. Right, there you go. So what's the subject here? There is no really subject. Well, there is no really real predicate. Right? Allah is qahir. Right? Huwa al-qahir. Wa huwa al-hakim. Wa huwa al-khabir. And he is above his slaves. That's what the Quran is mentioning. Now let's move on.
This is not a noun.
It is a nominal sentence. It's just a lot of subject stuff. It still has a noun in it, right? We said, what is it? What is this? What is it by definition? A nominal sentence. What is it? Starts with noun. That's it. All right. By the way, so if you don't get this subject down pat within the first day, that's fine. Took me 3 years. Okay, so what did we go over initially? Right before this? We went over general ways of identifying a nominal sentence, right? Now we're going to go over shortcuts to a nominal sentence. And then that's what we're going to do for today. That's it. And then I'll do your exam review. And then we're going to do Quran and go home. Shortcuts to a nominal sentence. What page were we on? My book got screwed up. 83? 82, 83. It's not in your book. No. Don't need that. Don't need that. Oh, here we go. Shortcuts to identifying a nominal sentence. Number 1. If a common ism comes after a proper ism. Now before, what did I tell you? I told you to see what the status, number, gender, and type of each one was, right? Now I'll make this easy for you. If you see something common coming after something proper, then it is a nominal sentence. For example, Allahu Akbaru. Allah is what? Proper. Akbaru is common. Don't ask me, oh brother, it's light, it's heavy. Did I tell you to think about heavy or light? No, so don't think about heavy and light. Heavy and light is irrelevant. Allahu Akbar, Allah is greater than. Allahu Ghafurun, Allah is forgiving. If you see a common ism, come after a proper ism. See, if I had just told you this rule without going over all of that other stuff, this would have actually been hard for you. Now you're like, okay, I understand something. So if a common ism, which is, we said is a predicate, comes after something which is proper. Okay, move down. Number 2. Any common ism after an independent pronoun. Same thing, right? Huwa Allah, huwa mu'minun. He is a believer. Antum muslimuna. You all are Muslims. Any common ism after an independent pronoun. Right? Common is always going to be what? Predicate or subject? Predicate. Yep, very good. Common equals predicate. Proper equals subject. Antum muslimuna. You all are Muslims. Inshallah. Nahnu aqrabu ilayhi min habl al-warid. I like this ayah. Nahnu is what? A pronoun. Right? Is a pronoun. Aqrabu is what? Common or proper? Proper. Good. I don't know what's going on here exactly, so I'm going to look at this later. Number 3, pointing word followed by a common ism. We'll talk about pointing words tomorrow. Hada kitabun. This is a book. Kitabun is common or proper? Common. What do we say? Pointing word followed by a common ism. I don't want you to see is nominal sentence. If this was hadha kitabu, then this would not be a nominal sentence. Then it would be another construction which you'll go over later. Okay, so ignore that part. Pointing word followed by a common ism. The translation of hadha kitabu means this is a book. Number 4. Any ism after a harf of nasab. Any ism after a harf of nasab. You don't know the harf of nasab yet, so don't worry about it. Number 5. A break in any of the 5 compounds. A break in any of the 5 compounds. So what are the 5 compounds? Idafa, if it's not idafa, if it's not mawsuf sifa, if it's not harf of jar, if it's not harf of nasab, and if it is not a pointing word compound. Can you guys do me a favor and don't write harf of nasab compound, it's not a compound. Just write harf nasab. And number 5, a break in any of the 5 compounds. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. We'll do the stuff later. Okay. It's what? Monday? Okay. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And that's it, we're done. Right? Quick 10 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to have our exam tomorrow, and an exam on Thursday, and that's it. So technically, tomorrow and the day after is all I have left to teach you guys. Only 2 sessions. And inshallah, I think so far you guys have taken in a lot of information. So go ahead, and for tomorrow, what are we going over for our exam? I'm going to open it up. See. This is what we're going over. Oh, hold on. Vocab sheet numbers. Someone tell me where vocab sheet number 6 is, because I don't see it in here. Huh?
I saw vocab sheet number 7.
I see number 7 as well. Anyone see it?
Number 5 and number 7.
Number 5 and number 7?
Yeah, there's number 7.
That's whack. Alright, well, I'll give you number 7 then, and we'll do number 6 after. What page is it?
116.
116. Okay.
So number 6 won't be on our exam.
Nope. So we can rewrite that. You know, we don't have that much time. I wrote all your definitions back here. You should have them. Let me double check. Just one thing. Page 117, it's blessing, not blessings. So take off the S. Take off the S. Adlun, Fadlun, Sultan, Hukman, Sharrun, Khairun, Sayyatun, Hasanat. Okay, yeah, that's all right. So just study that. I'm not going to go over it. Back to our exam. Any questions on gender or type? Let's start with those. Yes.
Can you go over the difference between masculine and both? Yeah.
Masculine and feminine? Okay. $47. Simple. By default, all isms are considered masculine unless proven feminine. How do you prove them feminine? Number 1 is if you have these 3 endings on a word. A'un or sughra, kubra. This ya will equal feminine. This a'u will equal feminine. Okay? A'u equals feminine. Humra, sawda. So you're looking for the endings. Or jannatun, izzatun, salatun. Right? Tun, the ta marbuta equals feminine. Or if it's a real feminine word, meaning you use it with a woman. We said ummun, for example, is a mother. There's those 3 signs aren't there. Bintun is daughter. Ukhtun is sister. Number 3 are body parts in pairs. Your hands, your eyes, your lips, your ears, they're all considered body parts in pairs, and they're considered feminine. Number 4 are the assumed feminine words. The assumed feminine words. And that is in your book, I believe.
That's a vocab sheet number 1.
Yeah, that was your vocab sheet number 5. This thing right here. Assumed feminine words. And there was one more category, right? What was it? One more? Anyone remember?
Look like a male word, masculine word, but the meaning is like akhirun.
No, that's the one we just did. Ummun, bintun.
Oh, when it's like a plural, it becomes.
Oh yeah, and a broken plural is considered feminine as well. Here we go. No, that's it. That's it. I was right. Then does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's gender. Type. Anyone have any question about type? Type is mainly, again, it's about identification. What are the 7 categories? Can someone read them off to me? Okay, number 1 is alif lam. If a word has alif lam at the beginning, it's considered common or proper? Proper. Number 2? A proper name. For example, Sanober, Noura, Faiza, Zainab, Shifa, these are all proper names. They're referring to a specific person, right? So proper names. Like for example, Muhammadun is a proper name. Someone's name is proper. Proper, always. Number 3? Pronoun. Pronoun. What is a pronoun? Huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, right? Those are all considered common or proper? Proper. Huh? Yeah, all of them are considered proper. Yeah. This is the key for something proper. Ask yourself this question: do I know exactly what or who? Ask yourself that. Do I know exactly what or who? Do I know exactly what or who? Well, that was what, number 3, number 4?
That was number 3.
That was number 3. It's number 4.
Indicating word.
Indicating word. Don't worry about that. It hasn't been on your exam yet. Number 5.
Possessive noun.
Possessive noun, right? Which is a mudaf. Mudaf is considered what? Proper. Kitabullahi. Rahmatullahi. Kitab is proper. Rahma is proper. Whatever is being possessed is considered proper. Okay. Number 5? 6? What is it?
Relative pronoun.
Relative pronoun. Don't worry about that either. We haven't gone over it yet.
And number 7, ism preceded by ya.
Yeah. For example, ya rajulu. Ya rajulu. Rajulun generally is what? Common, right? But I'm saying ya rajulu. Oh man, I'm calling to someone what? Calling to someone specific. Keyword is specific. I know who I just made something common into proper by adding ya because I'm trying to reach out to them, trying to get their attention. I know exactly who I'm calling out to. So that's type. Okay. Independent pronouns. You know them. There's 12 pronouns. Just know, literally, just have those memorized. You'll be fine for the exam. Have them memorized. Know what means what. Know that huwa means what? Him. Know that hiya means. Ana means. Huma means. Kuma means. No. No. Kum means them. Kum means you all. Sorry. Kum means you all. Right? Kunna means what?
You all.
You all feminine. Good. Hunna means what? No.
You choose them.
No. Huma, hunna. Hunna. Them what?
Feminine.
Feminine. Them feminine. Right? How about anti?
You for feminine.
Good. How about anta?
You for feminine.
How about antunna? Antunna? Antunna is you all feminine. Antum is what? You all masculine. Just memorize them. Memorize them. I'll give you the Arabic on the exam. You have to translate them. That's all. Attached pronoun, same thing. Just memorize them. Who or he is attached pronoun, right? For example, see my cup, right? Suhu, his cup. So I'll give you on the exam like suhu or nadaratiha, right? Her glasses. And I'll give you the word. I'll say nadara means glasses, and I'll write nadaratiha, What does it mean? I'll give you a couple of choices. Her glasses, your glasses, my glasses, both of their glasses. So you have to circle which one is the correct one. Okay? That's attached pronouns. And then that's that. Brother Taha, you had a question initially, I remember, about attached pronouns, right?
Yeah, when it comes to possessive pronoun.
Okay.
How do you?
So we're going to talk about possessive compounds as well, right? So if I give you kitab al-rajuli, you should be able to tell. If I give you a compound, you should be able to tell me what type of compound it is, right? So you should be able to tell the difference between mawsuf sifa, possessive. Wait. What I'll be doing is instead giving you. My bad. What am I saying? So what I'll do is I'll give you possessive compounds, and you have to identify the mudaf and mudaf ilayh. Okay. And this will include what? Harf jar, obviously, but also attach independent pronouns on isms. Usually on the second exam, I switched a lot of stuff around for this class, but usually I also have all of the constructions done. So you know this jumla ismiya thing I'm doing right now with you guys? I usually do that beforehand, not at the end, but now I'm doing it at the end. So independent pronouns on isms. And then harf jar compounds. So for example, if I give you harf jar fi and fillahi, right? You should be able to tell me what it is, and you should tell me what the harf jar is. So you should know your harf jars. Ba, ta, kaf, lam, waw. Min, fi, an, ala, hatta, ila. But if you notice something, what are the only ones which I wrote a lot about? Ba, ta, kaf, lam. Waw. Everything else is straightforward. It's a one-word meaning. And then vocab sheets 4, 5, and 7.
So you won't have anything on adverbs?
Adverbs falls under what category? Mudaf, mudaf ilayh. It will. Yes. Again, homeworks. Do your homeworks. Study your homeworks. Trust me, that's all it comes down to. Study your homeworks. If you know your homework, you did your homeworks.
But we have our notes now.
Yeah, study. I'm saying study your homeworks more than your notes per se. Because what do the homeworks do? They show you the application. I'm not concerned with your theory. I'm concerned with your application of it. So that's the main thing you want to do.
So the homework for Mudaf ilayh was very difficult because it was
I won't make it that difficult. Don't worry. I'm not going to give you Quran. Don't worry. I won't give you Quran. Noura asked me if can you let us know if you give Quran? I said absolutely. Okay. What did you want me to clarify about attached pronouns or isms?
Like just the basics of that, like sometimes it's not being jar. It looks like nasb.
Okay. The attached pronoun.
Yeah.
So remember during attached pronouns, I said there's only 2 categories of pronouns wherein they will change status, right? There's the huwa pronoun, which in its attached pronoun is who or he, right? So kitabuhu means his book. Kitabi, he also means his book. Now what did I say? For it to be he, the letter before it needs to be e. The letter before it has to be either kasra or a ya. That's the only difference. Kitabihi, kitabuhu. Same meaning, but it changes in grammatical status. For example, fi kitabihi. Kitab is e because of fi. But because it follows in grammatical status in that regard, then it becomes e. And then the second one is kitabi and kitabi and kitabihima. Anything he is what you want to be concerned with, right? That's what you're asking me about?
Yeah, but he has a
The kasra, yeah.
so it's okay.
Yeah.
But the one without kasra, I think it's called for him maybe. Yeah.
Can you give me an example?
Yeah, just keep it.
Give me an example. Hold on to your example. I'm going to push on to the Quranic gem so that we can leave on time, and then after that, just ask me that question. But any other questions, just hold on to it. Let me do this first so that we can get through it. Okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Ali Imran, زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ وَالْبَنِينَ وَالْقَنَاطِيرِ الْمُقَنطَرَةِ مِنَ الذَّهَبِ وَالْفِضَّةِ وَالْخَيْلِ الْمُسَوَّمَةِ وَالْأَنْعَامِ وَالْحَرْثِ. So Allah says زُيِّنَ, right, which comes from zina, which comes from beautification, right, something to be beautified. زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ, for all of mankind. حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ, the love of desires. What type of desires? مِنَ النِّسَاء, from women, for men. وَالْبَنِينَ, and of sons, right? وَالْقَنَاطِيرِ الْمُقَنطَرَةِ, and heaps of gold and silver. مِنَ الذَّهَبِ وَالْفِضَّةِ, gold and silver. وَالْخَيْلِ الْمُسَوَّمَةِ, and what? A brandished horse. وَالْأَنْعَامِ, and cattle. وَالْحَرْث, and land. ذَلِكَ مَتَاعُ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا, that is all a mata' of this world. Remember we did al-hayat al-dunya, mawsuf sifa. This is a mata', it is a utility of this world. وَاللَّهُ عِنْدَهُ حُسْنُ الْمَآبِ, and with Allah is the best places of rest, or the best places to reside in. Now what does Allah say is what? حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ, the love of desires from women. Now this is not just for men, because this is also for women. In language, men is, when you call out to man, it refers to women at the same time, unless specified man or unless specified women. That is how language works. In English, which comes from a Latin root, man is referred to as what? Mankind. Well, mankind is referred as the word man. But in usage, it also refers to women, unless specified. That's how the language works. Actually, woman literally means man with a womb. That's literally what it means. It's the literal meaning of it. So there is a sense of equality. So minan nisa'i wal banina, and of children. So what Allah is saying is, what is it that people crave in life? What is it that people want? People want a good spouse, obviously, right? It's part of a good home. Number two is al banina, not just children, but sons, right? Because if you think about it today, when you think about someone with daughters, and it's really wrong, but you think about someone who has 4 daughters, like, oh man, he doesn't have any sons, poor guy. Well, actually, that's why there's so many hadiths who speak about, when you have 2 daughters and you raise them right, the reward is not to that equal of having 2 sons. Because 2 daughters, you spend more, you take care of them more, you hold on to them more, you cherish them more. That's because at the same time, what was it? During the Jahili Arabs' time, what did they kill off? They killed off their daughters because they saw it as a financial expense. Minan nisa'i wal banina, and sons. Wal qanatir al muqantarati, heaps of gold and silver. Min al dhahabi wal fiddati. Now, these heaps of gold and silver, you know what they were? They were there to show how much money you had, how much your worth was. And it's really had to do a lot with looking back to society, right? So looking back to your bank account, looking back to all of that, it had a lot to do with what is it that you show people by that you have accomplished much in your life. We don't have heaps of gold and silver. You know what we have? We have Columbia University, Princeton University. I went to this university and that university, and people use that as a measure of how much you make, of what you are doing in life, etc. Not always, but if you think about it, that's how we think, right? You want to go to a good university so you can get a good job, so you can get a good spouse, so you can get a good house. It's dependent upon that, upon your university. So much so that if you see a college dropout who makes a good amount of money, even like if you think about it, that person is not seen as awesome as the person who has a nice degree, right? So even though he may have more money, people don't care about the money. It's like, oh look, he has a degree, it looks nice, I can talk about it to people, right? وَالْقَنَاطِيرِ الْمُقَنطَرَةِ مِنَ الذَّهَبِ, and what else do people want? وَالْخَيْلِ الْمُسَوَّمَةِ, a brandished horse. We don't have horses, we have horsepower, right? You want a nice car, nice Mustang, nice Audi A8, nice M3, nice M5, nice M6, nice cars. وَالْأَنْعَامِ وَالْحَرْثِ, and cattle and land. We don't have cattle, but what do we have? We have stock options, right? No, think about it. What was the idea of cattle? The idea of cattle was that once you have cattle, it produces more cattle, and that produces more cattle. Stock options are what? Your financial assets are multiplied and they grow and they multiplied and they grow and it compounds and compounds and compounds. So that way you know what? That even if all this goes to waste, you can rebuild with your an'am, wal harth, a nice land, a nice house, right? You want nice land, nice 1 acre, 2 acres of land, nice 10,000, 5,000, 2,000 square foot house, whatever the case may be. And actually, you know how this I was talking about women before? Who's more concerned with the land than the men are? It's the women, right? A lot of times the house you have to buy, it's more so you're buying the house for the wife because she wants it in a specific way. Now all of these things together, right? A good spouse, children, a nice degree, financial assets. At the same time, what? A brandished horse, a nice car, and also having a good financial stability, and at the same time, a nice house is considered what? A sign of success, a sign of accomplishment, a sign of reaching the American dream. But the Quran says something else. ذَلِكَ, all of those things, that mata'ul hayat dunya is a mata'. A mata' in Arabic would be, for example, this table. This table serves a certain function. If a leg of this table is broken and it cannot hold my things, I will get rid of it without thinking twice. So what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, all of these things, they serve a certain function. And that's all they do. So even though the human being sees them as the epiphany of life, Allah says it's nothing. Allah refers to it as nothing. And it's a big thing to swallow, because think about it. My spouse is not everything that matters. My children is not everything that matters. My degree is not everything that matters. My car is not what matters. My financial assets don't matter. And my house doesn't matter. That's all part of the hayat al-dunya, is what Allah is calling it. He's saying that it's just simply a part of the hayat al-dunya. It's a part of something much, 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 much smaller. What is bigger? Wallahu indahu husnul ma'ab. Whatever is with Allah, Allah says, is bigger. So what comes after it? Allah begins to tell us, قُلْ أَأُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِخَيْرٍ مِّن ذَلِكُمْ. Should I not tell you something which is greater than your spouse, greater than your children, greater than your house, greater than all those things? I mean, think about it. All those things can be taken away from you. Your spouse can leave you, or your spouse can pass away. Your children can leave you, your children can pass away. Your house can be burned down, your financial assets can go bankrupt, your car can break down, you can lose your job, and your degree, you may not be able to finish it, you may, whatever the case may be. But Allah is saying, whatever is with Him, it will last. Ma'ab. You're gonna be in a place of lasting nature. قُلْ أَأُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِخَيْرٍ مِّن ذَلِكُمْ. Should I not tell you all about something better than all those things? لِلَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا, which will be for those people who have taqwa, and it will be عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ, with their Lord. What is it that Allah will give us that is better than our spouse, better than our children, better than our success? Jannatun tajri min tahtiha al-anhar خالدين فيها وأزواج مطهرة ورضوان من الله. So what is Allah saying? He'll give you rivers underneath wherein they are other rivers flowing, right? خالدين فيها, number one. Well, number two, you'll abide therein forever. Number three, وأزواج مطهرة, and Allah will give you a spouse there. وَرِضْوَانٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ, and Allah will be pleased with you, right? So if you think about it, if you think about this as well, you lose everything, right? But what Allah is saying is that even if your spouse, that may be important to you, He'll give you your spouse there. وَرِضْوَانٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ, and He'll be pleased with you. وَاللَّهُ بَصِيرٌ بِالْعِبَادِ, and Allah is all-knowing. He sees exactly what every single person is doing. So at the end of the day, there's always something greater to look to, right? That's what the American dream is. You settle down, you have a nice house, a nice job, you work till 65, you retire, and that's it. But Allah is saying there's something bigger. There's something much more greater to pursue. So inshallah, that's that for today. It's already 10:06, so I don't want to hold you guys here any longer. So inshallah, see you tomorrow. If you have any questions about the exam, you can come ask me.
You go here to
So.